The Albanese government will reportedly defer spending beyond the next financial year to minimise the size of budget deficits during an election campaign, therefore also minimising electoral blowback. Joining us live here in the studio is the Shadow Treasurer Angus Taylor. Angus, good to see you. Thanks for your time this morning.
Good to be with you.
What do you make of that tried and tested tactic?
Well, what's clear is the budget's going to be a shocker, or the MYEFO mid-year economic update is going to be an absolute shocker. Chris Richardson expects that it's going to be $220 billion in the red for the headline balance. That's over $20,000 for every Australian household. So not only has the government driven the economy off a cliff, 7 consecutive quarters of GDP per person going backwards, 7 consecutive quarters of household recession, but the budget's going off a cliff. That's very, very clear. And this is at a time when you need the government doing everything it can to make it easier for the Reserve Bank to bring down interest rates to get a sustainable reduction in inflation, and it's simply been exactly the wrong set of initiatives at a time like that.
But what about this report, though, you know, getting departments to defer payments to beyond the election? I mean, it has been used by everybody. Have you got a problem with it?
But what's not been done by everybody is $220 billion in the red. This is the highest level of government spending we've seen. We haven't seen this before. And they've lost control. They have absolutely lost control. And it's because they think that spin is the way to get through a cost of living crisis. Well, it's not. You've actually got to do the hard yakka. It's why we've opposed over $100 billion of spending initiatives in the
They call that the no-alition, is that?
Well, but it's the right thing to do. At a time like this when households can't manage their budget because of the pressures they're under, the government has to get control of its budget, and it's completely failed.
So let's get to the spending spree, and Trudy talked about this a little earlier, $16 billion worth, according to some of the leaks. So that's going to include so-called unavoidable spending. So that's childcare, that's aged care and the like. What trims would you make there?
Well, we've already opposed well over $110 billion of spending through the Parliament. We've already done it. I mean, that's votes in the Parliament.
Unavoidable spending.
But, you know, it's the aggregate level of spending that matters. Well, I'm not going to go through each of the individual initiatives that are out today because I've only...
But you wouldn't touch it though, right?
I've only just... Well, look, let's step back from this. Jim Chalmers, first of all, for the economic crisis we're facing, wanted to blame Vladimir Putin. More recently, he's gone to Donald Trump. Then it's President Xi, we just heard the other day. It's his fault. Veterans on the weekend. Now he's saying it's all unavoidable. Look, the spin gets thin. Jimmy's spin gets thin after a while, Pete, because at the end of the day, this bloke has lost control of his spending. Spending is growing way faster than the economy.
Okay.
And the economy is in life support. Let's be clear.
So this could be your problem in May. How are you going to rein in spending?
Well, exactly right. And that's why we've opposed that spending that we have. And Labor has loved to criticise us for that. But look, there's no point spending money on power lines that are not necessary if you get your energy price policies right. There's no point spending money on manufacturing policy or housing policy that doesn't deliver manufacturing or housing. I mean, they've got their policy settings wrong. They're committed to spending that is not appropriate at a time like this. And we know if you want to beat inflation, Pete, you've got to contain the growth in spending.
Okay. This government, I mean, it's hardly the first to ever run up a deficit. It is fair to say that neither of the main political parties have been serious about fiscal discipline.
Well, Pete, I've just said we've opposed over $110 billion.
But they've contributed to the mess that we're in.
Well, Labor loves to give us flack for that, for having opposed those things. But we've done it, and we've done it because it's the right thing to do. Now, no opposition has done that in recent history. The last time an opposition went hard on spending like this was Malcolm Fraser blocking supply. We're not proposing to do that. But we have been serious about this. And the reason is we know to beat inflation, to get it down to that sustainable lower level, to get interest rates down, to give the Reserve Bank room to bring down interest rates, you've got to contain your spending growth. And that's why we've done what we've done.
Are you looking at an early election? What date are you working towards at the moment?
Well, that'll be up to Albanese.
Sure.
But the one thing you can be
What's
sure...
the chatter?
The chatter is he'll do it when it's politically advantageous.
Is this why he's
for him.
getting the departments to defer spending?
Well, look, there's no doubt they're going to play games. It's all going to be spin. It'll continue to be that. With these guys, it's all tactics, it's all politics. So let's see what it is.
Good to see you in person.
Good on you.
Thanks, Angus. Talk to you soon.